Hi everyone, welcome to our Season 5 Zedcraft base. Well, if I'm honest, it's really been more of an ever-changing set piece for my video series. Been through a number of changes over the season so far, but the series is finally wrapped up. And now Tex and I are ready to give you a behind-the-scenes look at the set behind Zedcraft Legends. One of my favorite parts of the base is actually the outside village. From the docks to the mine, Tex was the master craftsman here. The mine wows me every time I see it. It's so amazing. He was inspired by a build, but it is just fantastic. And what's funny is we never really, in all honesty, even ended up needing it for actual mining. We used it in a video and it pretty much just sat there, but it's beautiful. So as we built our base and made this series, we really made it a point to include as many Zedcrafters as we could, both in the filming and in the base creation. And you can really see this in this outside area. Young Gun Tex and Trix built this stunning ship docked at our ports. Crafty Chick and Lexi created beautiful interiors for our village centerpieces and several of our interiors inside the city. And Photon connected us to the rest of the world with two phenomenal bridges. Which brings me to the city itself. The city is of course inspired by Minas Tirith from Lord of the Rings, but it's been on quite a journey the last few months. It started as a hill next to a river, became a torn out piece of land thanks to much help from Snow and Chicken Noodle, and then it became the cliff we all recognize from Minas Tirith, and that's just the landscaping. This season I really wanted to play with gradients, so I did. And let me tell you, it's a lot harder than it looks. I think I built the bottom walls at least 4 times, and there's a lot of things I rebuilt intentionally because of a set change. But these just couldn't get that gradient right. Still not entirely sure I love it, but it'll work. There were parts of this base, though, that did have to have multiple set changes. For instance, we rebuilt the top of the walls from dark to light, and then we also had to tear down, well, we had to build a tree, a giant tree. We had to tear it back down. Sorry, clan. And then rebuild it again. These were all very intentional changes. And let me tell you, there's great heartache in building a giant tree, knowing you are going to rip it down again. The final tree, though, is a build I think will live as one of my favorites for a long time to come. Once the walls and gates were up, it was time to build a bustling city, and so we held a bit of a build competition. So many Zedcrafters contributed to what we now have. Thank you to Snow Avenger, Crafty Chick, Boonsy, Lisa Miza, Archangel Lee, Morgoth, Emily Pancake, Trix, Phil. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much for bringing our city to life. And honestly, doing things we just weren't very good at. You are very appreciated. And amazingly, even with all of our villagers, Texas farms, and several amazing interiors, we somehow have managed to stay below the entity count. Well, mostly below the entity count. And finally, we come to the Great Hall. I was terrified of this build. I've never successfully built with quartz, not that I haven't tried, it just never looks right. But this actually came together quite quickly and I think pretty well. I'm really happy with all it turned out. I did the interiors myself, not that they are anywhere near what Crafty or Lexi can do, but I'm happy with them for what I wanted and I'm really pleased with the haul overall. You know, I think the best thing about this whole base has been working with far more Zedcrafters in its creation than we ever have before, and how much Tex and I both grew as builders. I'm just really happy with this season. So that said, please come by sometime and take a look around, or just come hang out with us. We'd love to see you. Bye!